As the world now deals with yet another coronavirus variant, every country is dealing with the pandemic in its own way, drawing on its resources and hopefully learning from its weaknesses. And as CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl tells us, that's why Israel enlisted one of its most trusted and prominent institutions to help, the IDF.
Located between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, this base is headquarters for the Israel Defense Forces Home Front Command.
The Home Front Command, it's like a unit that can solve all the problems that others cannot solve. It doesn't matter if it is a missile strike, it doesn't matter if it's a air strike, it can be a virus, it can be an epidemic.
Brigadier General Reli Margalit leads this operation at the Command and Control Center for Israel's battle against COVID-19.
We try to support the health ministry by doing the operations to cut the chain and to do other things as much as needed to stop COVID-19 pandemic and to do as much as possible to let the people go back to their real life.
Manned by thousands of Israeli reservists, they can process more than 10,000 cases a day.
The main advantage is that the army can recruit soldiers very fast and to do very fast operations and very power operations.
Twice a day, various teams involved in the COVID fight gather in this room to share information and make decisions.
The basic challenge in pandemic is that you never know anything. You have to study, you have to learn, you have to be creative, you have to be very agile.
On top of that, the health ministry and civilian organizations can have different priorities.
You bring other agendas, you bring other DNAs. This is the army DNA, this is a civilian DNA, and you have to sit together and to understand what is the power of each one and to create better things. It's not easy, but I must say that today, after a few months, I think we understood each other and we work very good together.
The center's main job is contacting those testing positive and others to stop the chain of infection.
We try to connect the dots and make the transition from the investigation of a specific individual into the understanding of the bigger picture.
Major Harel Be'er oversees the investigation room where the calls are made.
First is the investigation of the individual, where we learn who you are, where you've been, who you've met. And this creates the most fundamental, basic database information layer.
Specially designed algorithms help investigators understand how the disease might spread.
We try to create some kind of clarification on the way the disease is moving forward and the reasons for it, as much as possible, to understand what were the malfunctions or things we could have done better in order to prevent same events or similar events from reoccurring.
Some may consider this an invasion of privacy.
There is a very big conflict between the privacy of the person and the need to know where he was. We believe in privacy in Israel, and I think we are a very big democracy here in Israel, and I don't think it goes too far.
As the pandemic grew, CBN News visited the Home Front Command's work in Nazareth, Israel's largest Arab city.
Coronavirus crossed many borders between many kinds of populations. It breaks some walls and borders. Once you speak about coronavirus, you don't look at Arabs and Israelis and Jewish, and it doesn't matter. Everybody supports everybody, and I think it works.
During the first lockdown, soldiers went door to door delivering food and providing services to individual citizens. Working together with Israel's healthcare system, the Home Front Command also set up efficient drive-through and other testing stations.
And we did like 220,000 sampling a day, and in Israel it's a lot. And we deal with like 40 labs.
In November, the Prime Minister called for a nationwide drill to test preparedness for the outbreak of a new variant. Then, just a few weeks later, Israel discovered cases of the new Omicron variant inside the country.
It was like a war game with the Prime Minister, and we practiced it 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we did now exactly what we decided. It's amazing.
Margalit says flexibility is key to adapting to changing situations, and he feels like their mission is succeeding.
I really believe that we cut many chains, and I really believe that we reduced the amount of people get infected and people died. I can say that hundreds of people stay in life because of the operation we did. I'm very proud of being here.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Ramla, Israel.
Alpha Omega.